Alright guys, welcome into Chapter 5 Season 4. I am really excited to make this drop spots video because I think that this is going to be one of the best seasons that we've had in a while. In this new season, we have a new Marvel collab update with 4 new POIs and a bunch of other different map changes. And in today's video, I want to go over 6 solo drop spots you guys can use to pop off in your solo ranked and solo cash cups. Be sure to stick around to the end of this video so you guys don't miss any important information. Let's get right into it. So guys, the first place that I'm landing in this video is going to be the Fantastic Four sign. In my opinion, this is one of the better drop spots if you guys want to land somewhere that's really low-key and uncontested because it's a really small, not very loot-dense POI. So basically, you're just going to land at this place. It's called Fractured 4 on the map if you guys are considering it a landmark. It's obviously the Fantastic Four sign from the Marvel universe, but what you guys can do is you can land here. There's going to be around 3 chests that are going to be in this area, 1 on top and then 2 on the bottom. What you guys can do is you can loot these chests really quickly and then you can just easily farm all this material around the area. After you guys are able to loot all of these different chests, what you can do is you can obviously get all of your weapons and items situated, and then you can easily rotate over to this gas station right here, or you could rotate over to Doomstot over there. That's a named POI, so it is going to be a little bit more contested. However, it's still a really solid place to rotate if you guys are choosing to rotate in a certain direction. Or if you guys want to rotate over here towards this windmill and house area, or if you guys want to rotate over there towards that house, there's a bunch of different options you guys have, and you can pretty much choose any of them in order if you guys want to try to land at this POI and rotate to a different place in order to get more loot. Me personally, I choose to go over towards the gas station just because I feel like it has more attributes than the rest of the places, and it's also going to be the least contested and the closest. There's also a bunch of different rocks and stuff you guys can farm over here, and there's going to be metal objects like these fences right there. There's going to be wood that you guys can farm. And another big benefit is that there's going to be a vending machine that you guys can easily use in order to get weapons and loot up really good. Basically, what I'd recommend you guys do is you land at that Fractured 4 POI and then you rotate over to this gas station. That's how you're going to be playing this drop spot in general. Now guys, this next POI isn't actually a new POI with this biome. This is going to be a small place that you guys can go. It's called Coastal Comms, and I have reviewed it in previous drop spot videos. But essentially what it is that it's a small little comms area on the top of this mountain. It's really close to Doom's castle and also Doom's Courtyard over there. What you guys can do is you can land here. There's going to be 6 chests that you guys can loot really quickly. It's not a big POI, but it has a lot in it, so that's what's really good about it. It's a very dense POI with a lot of materials, ammo boxes, chests, and floor spawns. Also, what you guys can easily do here is you can land at this POI and then rotate over to Doom Castle in order to get the mythic weapon. If you guys don't know, at Doom Castle, they do have the mythic pistol and the siphon medallion. And also what you guys can do with this POI is you can easily max out on metal by farming all the different metal items that are in the area. It's a really, really good place to land if you guys want to get resources and materials really quickly, and then rotate over to a more contested POI in order to try and get better loot. I don't think you're likely to be contested if you land here. However, you need to understand that if people are landing in this new biome area, they're probably going to use this spot as a backup spot though, so there is a chance that you guys might have some like reserve people landing near you, or some people who are using this spot as their backup spot if they failed to get a good drop for the named POIs. Also, you need to understand that this new biome doesn't have too many smaller unnamed POIs. It really only has the big named POIs, so there's not going to be too many places to land that aren't going to be named. That's why a lot of the drop spots in this video you guys will see are going to be reused from previous seasons. But nonetheless, guys, this is a really solid drop spot. Coastal Comms, really good spot on the top of this mountain. You have a lot of elevation, you can get easy storm surge tags. That's why I'd recommend it to you guys. Now guys, this next drop spot I'm landing at isn't actually a new POI. It's going to be something from the last seasons as well. However, this is going to be called Estate Station, and it's really close to a lot of the new POIs. This place is going to be great. It has going to be having 8 chests. You guys can obviously land here. You can run around the area, loot all the chests that you guys need to. And a really good benefit of this POI is that it does have a really good vending machine that you guys can get. I love vending machines because it lets you stack up on meds really quickly. But also, you guys are able to get mats pretty quickly too because the walls are going to be made of brick. You can easily farm a lot of the buildings. And you guys can also farm a lot of these trees as well. There's going to be kind of 2 sections. There's going to be this sort of train station area and then that house over there. And it's unlikely you're going to be contested, but if you are, I'd recommend you do try to land the house over there and then rotate over to the train station afterwards. And the really big benefit is that you also have access to the train, guys, which has been re-added this past season. There's going to be pretty much everything you guys want on this train. So you guys can go on there, you can loot all this stuff right here, get a bunch of loot, and then hop off, go back to the POI. I just genuinely think that this POI is a really, really good one because it's really close to a lot of the new POIs. As you guys can see, it's really close to Doomstot, and it's not that far from the raft and Doom's Courtyard as well. You guys can rotate there pretty quickly. And in my opinion, it's also really easy to loot. It's just going to be a house and a train station. You guys can basically run through it, practice it. You're going to learn how to loot it really quickly, and you can get all the different attributes of it very quickly as well. That's why I'd recommend this POI because it's quick to loot and it's also really quick to go to other POIs as well. So once again, Estate Station, a very solid place to land. I hope you guys consider landing here. So once again, this next POI isn't going to be a new one. However, it's really close to a bunch of other named locations. That's why I'd recommend you guys land here. This is going to be Forest Station. In my opinion, it is one of the best train stations on the whole map because it's so close to so many major POIs, right next to Doom's Courtyard and Castle Doom, and Doomstat's not too far away either. You guys can land here. There's going to be plenty of chests for you guys. I believe 8. You can grab all the loot you guys need very quickly. And a big benefit, once again, is having access to the train. That is actually a very overlooked aspect in this new season, I think. And considering how close it is to Doom's Courtyard, which is literally right over there, and how close it is to Doom's Castle and Doomstat, I think it's going to be really easy for you guys to loot this POI really quick, and then easily rotate over to named POIs in order to get mythic weapons, medallions, whatever it may be. The only small problem with this POI is that there isn't too much metal around the area. However, you guys can easily get metal from rotating to those named POIs and looking for metal there. Obviously, the roofs of this buildings are metal, so you guys can probably get 100 to 200 metal there. However, if you guys are contested, it's going to be tougher. If you're contested, I would recommend that you guys try to land on that bigger house area because it does have more chests, and you guys are going to be able to get a lot more loot way quicker. And once you're done with that, I'd recommend you just push the other player pretty much immediately because you're just trying to make sure that they don't get away and catch the train. But once again, this is going to be Forest Station. It's a very solid place to go. There's going to be slurp barrels for you guys to use for shield, and there's also going to be a fair amount of loot. However, the big thing is going to be access to the named locations. That's the main reason I'd recommend you guys land here. Once again, this POI is not going to be a new one added with this new season. This is going to be Rescue Station. However, it is so close to Castle Doom and the sort of Steamy Stacks area over there, and I would recommend it to anybody who wants to land here because it's a really solid POI. Once again, Rescue Station, it's going to be having around 12 chests that you guys can easily loot. I think it's a great POI just because of how much loot there is in a small amount of area, but the main thing is how close it is to the center of the map. As you guys can see on the map here, it's really not that far from central areas like Reckless Railways. It's really quick to rotate if you guys want to do that as well. And like I said, it's really close to Castle Doom. You guys can go there and rotate and loot for the mythic weapons. It also has slurp barrels, which is a big benefit, so you guys can save on shield. But one drawback may be the fact that you guys are likely to be contested here, considering that it is a slightly bigger POI. It has been landed at quite a bit in the past couple seasons, and also many people would consider it a really good backup spot for those named POIs. However, this place is very solid. It's going to be having tons of materials. There's going to be trees, bricks nearby. Metal isn't too common. However, there is a whole section of the map where you guys can get metal. If you rotate over to sort of the garage here, there's going to be a bunch of objects you guys can farm to get metal. These boxes, you guys can obviously break this stuff. You can farm these cars for metal if you want as well. But other than that, there's not too many other things to look at in this POI. There's going to be that tower obviously for metal as well. You guys can break this sort of whole frame right here. And then after that, I'd recommend you guys rotate over to that sort of stack over there and then use it to fly and glide out of here to go to center map. It also has some loot in there, so if you guys want to get that, you can if it's not taken. But other than that, that's pretty much it for Rescue Station. I hope you guys consider landing here. Now guys, this final place is going to be Doom's Courtyard. I like to end these videos with a named POI. This is basically just a reskin of classy courts without the tennis courts. This place is going to be very solid. It's going to have a lot of chests, and it's actually not going to be too contested compared to the other named POIs that were added this season. It's likely that if you guys learn how to play this POI, especially now early in the season, you're definitely going to be very good with it later. It's going to have pretty much everything you guys need. Wood, brick, metal, any material basically. There's going to be plenty of chests, probably 20 plus. You guys can get all the weapons and items, loot them really quickly. I actually really like this little Doom statue right here because it's going to having a ton of chests in a small amount of area. And also another big benefit of this season is that those sort of new weapon crates are back right here. You guys can open them. They're going to give you a ton of really high quality loot. And then you guys can easily go around the area, farm these walls for brick. For metal, you guys can just farm the miscellaneous different items. You guys can go over here, basically farm all these benches, farm all these little chairs and whatnot. And then of course, you guys can easily rotate over to Doom Castle if you want to do that over there. Or you could easily rotate over to Doomstat, which is that direction. It is a little bit further. I would recommend you rotate over to Doom Castle. However, you guys have a ton of viable options, so it's basically your choice to pick and choose. Once again, guys, this is going to be Doom's Courtyard. I'd recommend you land here if you want to land at a named POI that's not going to be too contested. And one final tip, guys, is really going to be underrated. Rotating over there to that sort of downstairs dock area is really smart because there's going to be a bunch of extra loot, tons of metal if you guys want to max out on metal over there, and you can also easily get a lot of slurp barrels down there and a bunch of other stuff if you want to fish. There's going to be tons of options for you down there. But that's basically it for Doom's Courtyard. And guys, that is the video on the best solo drop spots in Chapter 5 Season 4. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed making it. Be sure to stay tuned for the duo drop spots video coming out very soon in the next couple of days. That is about it for this video, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye, guys.